Hello, everyone. Welcome to our September 2021 edition of What's Up in the Sky, brought to you by the Astronomical Society of Penang. And today we have Mr. Lim Chun Kiat, Grace Lee, and myself, Dr. Derek Lim, to present to you What's Up in the Sky for September 2021. So we'll start off with the evening sky highlights, and then we'll go to the morning sky highlights, and then we'll talk about some very interesting planetary events on Jupiter. We begin the month of September with Venus as our evening star. The planet shines at a bright magnitude minus 4.0, and the planet will remain as an evening star for the entire month of September. The face of Venus is visible through a telescope, and for this month, Venus spends its time trying to catch up with the Earth in their orbits around the Sun and displays a gibbous face through the entire month as well. Also prominent during the evenings in September 2021 is the Milky Way arcing across the sky like a river of silvery light. The galactic core is situated in the constellation of Sagittarius and is high up in the sky. The Southern Cross bids a sad farewell as its stars twinkle in the fading twilight in the southwest horizon. We will see the Southern Cross again in the morning sky around mid-November. So the first notable event for September evenings occurs on the September 5th of 2021 when Venus meets the brightest star in the constellation of Virgo. Alpha Virginis, or Spica, shines at the magnitude 0.98, whereas Venus is 5 magnitudes brighter at magnitude minus 4.0. Since each unit of magnitude difference corresponds to a 2.5 time difference in brightness, the 5 magnitude difference of Venus means that Venus is actually about 100 times brighter than Spica. However, the difference is, of course, due to their vast difference in distances, with Spica being 250 light years away, whereas Venus is a mere 9 light minutes away from the Earth on September 5th. So the fact that Spica is a star that's about 2,300 times brighter than our Sun, its sheer distance makes it so much more fainter than our planetary neighbor. So when you're looking at this beautiful pair on the evening of September 5th, try to imagine these differences, the brightness difference and the vast difference in distance between the two objects. On the early evenings of September 9th and 10th, the western sky will draw your attention away from the bright planets of Jupiter and Saturn high up in the east, because there's a gathering of the Moon, Mercury, and Venus. They'll form a beautiful group in the west sky that is well worth observing and photographing. Also, keep an eye on Mercury each day as it heads towards its greatest elongation or furthest visual distance from the Sun on September 14th. Meanwhile, as the moon gets higher and higher up in the evening sky, and of course goes through its waxing phases, it meets up with Jupiter and Saturn on September the 17th. So on September the 17th, in the evening, you'll be able to see the moon in between Jupiter and Saturn. The moon will be in its waxing gibbous phase and very bright, approaching its full phase on September 21st of 2021. The full moon on September 21st of 2021 is actually the full moon that is closest to the autumn equinox on September the 22nd. So it will be called the harvest moon. On this day, normally Chinese will celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival by eating mooncakes under the light of the beautiful and bright harvest moon. So take out your cameras while you're eating mooncake, take photos of your friends eating mooncakes underneath the beautiful glow of the harvest moon. At the end of September, we'll find that Jupiter and Saturn will be nearly overhead right in the evening after sunset. Venus is still the evening star, and the Milky Way arcs overhead but creeping west just a little, and the Milky Way plus the summer triangle will dominate the view of the early evening sky. And now let us have Grace talk about the early morning sky. Grace?
Yeah. Okay, I will talk about the early morning sky. For the early risers, the first 2 days of September sees the waning crescent moon nestled between the winter constellations of Taurus, Orion, Gemini, and Auriga. In fact, the moon is inside an asterism called the winter hexagon, formed by the bright stars Aldebaran, Rigel, Sirius, Procyon, Pollux, and Capella. The early morning skies remain quite uneventful through the months of September. Around mid-September, however, is a good time to take a sneak peek at the winter sky and explore the wonders of the winter Milky Way. With the moon out of the way, we can see the winter Milky Way arch overhead, crossing through the winter hexagon, past Sirius, and making its way south towards Canopus and the massive triple constellation of Argo Navis. After the harvest moon on the 21st of September, the moon makes an entry into the morning sky, bright and rather intrusive. The moon makes a visit to the winter hexagon again towards the end of the month, which is always a nice opportunity for beautiful photographs. Okay, and now I will pass to CK Lim to talk about the planet highlights of September.
Okay, this month of September begins with Saturn and Jupiter in the east, right after sunset. Although the two giants have passed their opposition in August last month, they are still a sight to behold in telescopes and still a great target for images. I would like to share with you, especially on Jupiter, those who like Jovian event, there are actually two events this month that is quite interesting. The first one is on the September the 9th. At 9 p.m., you can see Europa and its shadow transiting across Jupiter. And you can also see Io and Ganymede at the each side of Jupiter. Okay, Io will be on one side and Ganymede on the other side. At 10:22 p.m., the previously occulted Callisto will come out behind Jupiter. As it is fully visible, you'll be able to see 3 of the 4 Galilean moons close to Jupiter, with Europa's shadow is still projected on the planet's surface. At 10:39 p.m., Ganymede will be occulted by Jupiter as it goes behind the planet. And finally, at 10:41 p.m., Callisto will get eclipsed by the shadow of Jupiter, disappearing from view. Okay. Another event which is worth mentioning is happening on the night of the 16th till the morning of the 17th. We start on the early evening on the 16th at 9:34 p.m. When we have the Europa transit starting at 9:34, and at 10:31 there is exactly about close to 1 hour later we can see that Io is coming up from the shadow of Jupiter. The next interesting event happening about 12:23 in the morning, where we have the Europa transit ended, and the Great Red Spot is actually coming into view. So as Ganymede approaching Jupiter, we will be able to see both Ganymede and Europa close to the planet, with Europa shadows on the planet's surface and the Great Red Spot in view. So finally, at 2 a.m., Ganymede will be occulted by Jupiter.
Wow, that was very interesting. So I think that although I'm not an early riser, the moon in the winter hexagon would be quite a nice target capture. And I'll definitely be looking forward to the September 9th and September 16th events on Jupiter. So thank you very much again for watching our What's Up in the Sky show. I hope that you find it informative. And every month, there's always some interesting events happening in the sky. So please keep following us by subscribing to our channel. Click the subscribe button. Go to Facebook, search for Astronomical Society of Penang, and click like. And we'll see you again next month. Thank you very much. Clear skies and always look up.